I'm wondering just now if this cable has been visible for the past months and I just never realized it. Huh. Hello, I am PokerFaceOvaty and this is This Week in Speedrunning episode 13. Let's see all the news from this week. First of all, let's go through a couple follow-ups from the last two episodes. Last week I talked a bit about Super Mario Sunshine, how Guy2308 was close to scoring the world's first 112 in the any percent category of that game. This week we got a new run from Guy, and while it's a 113.23, only beating the previous one by 2 seconds, Guy claims to have lost 30 seconds in just Pinna Park. That only means that 112 is coming sooner or later, and Guy with the recent activity seems to be the guy to actually score it. So good luck with that. 2 weeks ago we talked about Portal and how a new way to skip the initial cutscene of that game broke the inbounds category leaderboards in half. Back then the world record holder with a time of 9 minutes and 12 seconds, Chwacki, told me he was expecting a sub 9 time to come soon. And it did. Just this week Kent even got a time of 8:58 loadless, which is the first sub 9 to ever happen in that category. And it is still the world record at the time of recording this video. Congrats to Kent even, and shoutouts to speedrun.com for the wording on their email titles. Since this one welcomed me with a complaint, Kent even beat the world record in Portal. GTA Vice City Stories has been in these episodes recently, but I don't count it as a follow-up since we're talking about the big boy category today. That's right, Vice City Stories 100%, previously known to be probably the worst hundo in 3D era, mostly because there's just a ton of stuff to do in that game. Some of this stuff is just straight up annoying, like air rescue, which is essentially just second paramedic but this time with a helicopter. Or, you know, the import-export garage that also needs you to export watercrafts instead of just cars. Antti finished his own 100% route a month ago and finally took it for a spin on console last week with a time of 12 hours, 40 minutes and 10 seconds. To give you some perspective on this, the only other times for the PSP version of the game are 15:58:08 by Mansellen and 22:01:43 by Claude Speed, both done on emulators. Hopefully the game will see some more 100% viable skips as well as more optimized runs. It's good to see movement where at least I didn't expect it. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, the third game in the series, saw a very interesting breakthrough this week. The longest standing world record streak in the entire series was broken. Tagnavina got a 27:54 world record in the NG Plus category, beating Zem's world record by 5 seconds. Zem had been the only person to hold this world record for 6 years, 3 months and 11 days. In that time, Zem only broke his own world records and didn't allow anyone to take his place. Up until now. Estrada is definitely a highlight of this run, and something new when compared to Zem's old run is the Marcadia turret skip. By blocking Ratchet's path to the turret, Tarna can skip a section of this planet where Ratchet is locked on the turret and shooting down other turrets, and can focus on sniping ships with his casual weapons, which when done right, saves over 25 seconds compared to what Zem used to do in the old world record. If you want to see a deeper analysis on the run, Zem made a video about it, make sure to go and check it out. Huge congrats to Tarna on this amazing achievement and good luck in future runs. Sly Cooper is a series of games coming mostly from the golden era of PlayStation 2. I've already mentioned the first one, Sly Cooper and the Thieves Raconus, when talking about an amazing TAS of it a couple weeks back. This time, it's all about Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves. This one had a new any percent world record happen last week, a 5:57:47 by Remo. It's the first sub 6 hour time in the any percent category in the game's history. Remo told me the sub 6 is a huge milestone since it's not really common for the game to break subsequent hour barriers. The last time that happened with a sub 7 was almost 5.5 years ago in February of 2016. As for the 5:57 itself, it's pretty decent aside from a couple deaths that cost some time here and there. The biggest highlight of this run is definitely the terrible luck Remo had with coins. Statistically, there is almost no way for someone to not have enough coins to buy all the power-ups needed for the run. And almost is the key here. The chance to get enough of them is about 99.75%, and Remo didn't get them.
What the fuck, dude? Worst we've ever seen in the history of this game.
Many of you might be wondering the same thing that I did when I first heard of Slide 2 and 3. 6 hours? Wasn't the record for the first one like half an hour? It is, and 2 and 3 take almost 5 and almost 6 hours respectively. The reason behind all of this is the first game has way shallower storyline, and what is especially interesting, its trigger system isn't quite as polished, which allowed runners to find massive sequence breaks. Sly sequels are based on chained triggers, which makes big sequence breaks straight up impossible. If that wasn't enough, for a couple years now it's been allowed to skip 6 otherwise unskippable cutscenes in the first game using file manipulation. Remo doesn't stop running here and is going to actively work on improving this PB starting next week. According to him, a good time for any percent would stand at around 5 hours and 54 minutes. Good luck to him with future runs, and thanks a ton for providing me with a lot of useful info. This weekend I'm taking part in, now annual, Polish GTA 3D Trilogy 100% relay. We will achieve 100% completion in GTA 3, GTA Vice City and GTA San Andreas as a team. Last year it took us 55 hours, and this time we're hoping to make it within 2 days. It is entirely in Polish, but last time we had some foreigners in the chat as well and they seemed to have fun. If you're watching this, we've already started our journey, as the stream will start an hour before this episode goes live. Go watch us throughout the weekend, our Twitch is Gramy Pomagamy. That would be all for this week. Thanks for watching, leave a like if you liked the episode, leave a comment if you have anything to add, subscribe to not miss future episodes every Friday at 8 PM CEST. The show's Twitter is TWI Speedrunning, go follow it, and if you have any news related to speedrunning, please DM me there. Thanks in advance. From all of us here at This Week in Speedrunning, thank you very much, and see you next week.